Hi, Joe Doyle here. As a former bricklayer turned property investor, I would not be where I am today if I didn't first learn the art of business. Nowadays, a big part of my life is helping other tradesmen grow their business and create wealth by sharing my knowledge, insights and experience. Welcome to the Tradesman Survival Guide podcast. All of the strategies discussed in my podcasts are taken directly from my book, The Tradesman Survival Guide, which is available at www.joedoyle.ie/TSG. TSG, of course, being Tradesman Survival Guide.
How's it going, Joe?
Mr. Vlad, how are you, my friend?
Things? Good.
So you're in the office / van / canteen / absolutely everything, yeah?
Slash the whole lot.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. So how's things been since we last spoke?
They were good, Joe. Now I got in some good jobs. Then I got in some which I thought like code-wise they were good, but then I end up losing a bit more money out of the money I projected, if you get me, you know.
Right. Okay. So it's never good to lose money, of course, right? But do we know what went wrong?
Yeah, I initially quoted, just give an example, to clean some gutters, 5 days. I quoted at the time for 400 a day for myself.
Okay.
And another 750 for labor. And then I thought, look, I'll get rid of the labor. I'll go and hire a cherry picker for the week. That's €700. But then I didn't thought about, that's at the end of the job. I didn't thought about, I have to go through the toll twice a day. That's €9. Then the diesel going up to Balbriggan from Kildare for the week. That's another expense. And in all them kind of stuff. Then I had the areas I couldn't access it with the cherry picker, so I had to do with the hovering system that I have with poles from the ground. But I didn't have electricity, so then I had to go over and hire a Jenny for 3 days, which is another €110. Like, but it's all these little things add up that I didn't really think through at the beginning. You know, that kind of way.
And did you cover costs, or how did you fare it out at the end?
The end I was left, Joe, to be honest, around €230 per day after all the costs.
Okay, so hold on a minute. So you made $230 per day for 4 days, yeah?
For 5 days, Joe.
Okay.
5 days.
And before you started with ourselves, $230 would have been a good day for yourself, yeah?
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely 100%. The likes of I told you before, I wouldn't go above 150. And
Yes.
now that would be really hard work. It's just, same as I said it to Carl, I think I was talking with a few days ago from the office. I just wouldn't have the confidence to go for it. Like, the money are there, they can be earned. I did it since I started with you. I even got that job, was about $4,500 for 6 days work. And it was over €500 profit every single day.
Brilliant.
I would never dream I could do that before.
Yes.
Although it was the same soft washing, same power washing I was doing before, I just didn't have that confidence just to go and ask for the money, for the right money, like, you know, that kind of way.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? You see that job there where you got the $230 per day on, right? If at least you priced that on the new system and you just forgot about a few bits, right? Which obviously don't fucking do that again, right? And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh yeah,
but if you would have priced that on the old system, you would have been working for nothing.
Yeah, you're dead right. Like, after taking down all the costs, I might as well just stay home, like, you know, that kind of way.
Definitely. So look, I would class that in a strange way, Vlad. I would class that as a cheap lesson for you.
Yeah, definitely, big time. Which I'm so glad, like, that at the end of the day, that was the best part that I was thinking about. Like, you know, look, I learned the lesson. I know next time better. I know what went wrong.
Yes.
In the future, if I'm not 100% sure about something, just add something and be on top of it. So then I'll have that little bit of a margin, and then I'm going to be left with the money I want for the day.
Yes. Now, let me tell you something as well, right?
Yeah.
You see the costs that you incurred there, unexpected. Not that like the costs were expected. You just forgot them, such as the diesel and the toll bridges and the cherry picker horde or whatever else there, right? In your head now, you're thinking that if you would have thought of them, you would have factored them in, right? But I can tell you that you should have factored in those costs plus more profit. Because the more complex, that sounds like the job is a little bit complex. And the more complex the job is, the more you can afford to charge for it.
I tell you what's the problem, Joe. The job was booked. You remember I was talking with you before, my girlfriend had an ectopic pregnancy.
Yes.
One of the lad of a property management company, he contacted me about the job. Send me on a few pictures. I got the dress. I fly up there with the van. Had a quick look, which is so wrong. Should never just have a quick look.
Yeah.
Not unless you're 100% confident. Yeah, I know what's this all about. I don't need to spend an hour here looking and writing things down. But I didn't spend enough time. So I was at the time when I just had to get some work in, just something to keep me going, you know, that kind of way.
Yes.
So that's why I only put it down as 400 a day. I said, look, that's grand, will do me. And I kind of rushed into the pricing.
Yes.
But still, like you said, if that would have been before, I would have been a lost case for that week, like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And look, we you know, we move on from it. We learn it doesn't happen again. You know, how long are you in business now, Vlad?
I opened it up legally in October.
Yeah, so look, we're only like 6 months in, you know, and
Yeah.
you've already made massive improvements.
I can say that anytime, Joe, but I can definitely say it since I started with you 21 days.
Yes.
That was the first step that just literally, and that was just 21 steps, just literally opened up my eyes like, geez, like the money that other lads are making there is just the right money for their skills and their experience and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then I was just thinking, I'm like, why do I charge only this much? Like, I just thought at the time, yeah, that would be grand for me, you know, that kind of way. It was not like we're into a business to make money, like, you know, that kind of way.
The best way that you can serve your client is by pricing the job correctly and making sure that there's good profits on the job, so that if something goes wrong, you can finish the job and you don't lose money, which is kind of what's happened here on this Balbriggan job.
Yeah.
But what went wrong on this job was your fault. It wasn't the job's fault. Like, you didn't price it in. So, you know, there's people out there that would have priced that job much less, and if they would have priced it much less and had the same issues that you had, they would just not turn back up on the job, and then the client would be worse off altogether. So look, this is good. You know, we need to charge the correct rate. We need to go after the right work. Really, what you need to do is you need to find out where you can get more of that work.
Yeah, I am in contact with a few lads now well, I started sending like kind of friend requests on LinkedIn, and then out of 100, for example, like only kind of 5 got back to me. Out of them 5, I got a little bits here and there, like I have another job now in Trim. They have to go, I'd say, in the next 2 weeks. Profit-wise, it's on 500. That's why I put it in 500 a day.
Yeah.
I add an extra day. Now it's power washing and soft washing. It's a mix between both. So on that thing, I'm just 100% sure. I know like how long it takes and all this stuff. So I add that, and then I add an extra day at the end. Plus, I add all the other expenses. Now, when I add all the other expenses that I could think of, I added another 20% on top of it.
Okay.
And I sent him on the code. And he was happy and he said, yeah, we'll go ahead with it. We want you to go in and do the job.
Very good.
So even if things go wrong, I have the extra day that I have it built in, or expenses wise, I have that little bit of extra things. Now that's only thing from 3 weeks ago, like.
And then the other thing as well is you price that job, whatever the number is on the job. While you're there, if the client asks you to do something a little bit more or whatever else, the fact that you've got the job priced well, you can just do it for them, and it's just better customer care for the clients as well. It's just very uncomfortable when you're doing a job on a shoestring budget with a razor thin margin, and that's how tempers can get raised with business owners and their staff, or with business owners and clients, and vice versa. If everything is too tight, there's just no scope for anything to change.
I've done it before, Joe, and especially when it's really low rates of pricing for the day. And if someone asks you just a minor thing, I don't know, just something that's 15 minutes or 20 minutes to do, like, I wouldn't personally mind. But when you just went in, and you just knew, like, you're at that stage and I fucked it up with the price. And then someone is asking do a small favor. You just get like the anger, and you just get like you're never gonna get out of the house, and
Yeah,
all that just turns into a nightmare. But at the end of the day, it's only our fault, like, for pricing it that way.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
it's all down to just have the right prices and that kind of way.
Extreme ownership, Vlad, yeah? We
Yeah,
just need
well,
to,
having you
yeah.
having you on the board, Joe, it's really, look. I might not be the perfect lad. I might not be the lad that reaches all the milestones, same like the other lads, or went above it. I'm from the bottom of my heart. I'm 110% happy for being in this group and for being even on 21 days. It's just something else altogether for myself, like,
100%. And then bear in mind,
So,
right? This is what I always think of, right? Is there's guys out there that's running a bit. You're only 6 months in the door, right? So
yeah,
you were running your business for 3 or 4 months. Then you connected with me, and I showed you how to do things a little bit better, a little bit more professional, and basically make more profits, right? There's guys out there that's in business 20 years, right? And they still wouldn't listen to me, or they still wouldn't think that what we're doing is possible. It's just
because
crazy.
they don't see outside the box. That's the problem, like.
Yeah,
Like
I
when you
kind of
see
pity the guys, to be
someone,
honest.
like the only way, like I sent you on the message before when I went in the 21 days group. I saw just random video with you before, like saying you're a bricklayer and start this and did that, and I was like, "Jeez, did that lad like is bang on?" Like, fair play to him for getting there, like, that kind of way. Not everyone gets where you are, like, but
No,
like you just have to get in, like, for example, with you, like, and all the crew as well, just like listen what the lads are saying, because like they got there and they have all their knowledge, and it's a fraction of a price. They'll offer you like a really massive course, and you'll have all this like calls and support, and you just can't go wrong. Like, whoever doesn't want to do that, they'll bring that, like,
well, look, see,
to
see, the
be
thing is,
honest.
where are you from, Vlad?
Romania.
See, Irish people are known to be very pessimistic. You know that
Yeah, look.
they're known to be like skeptical about many things. And look, it's fine. Just leave them be. Like, listen, as I do say to them, look, my money's made. You're the one who doesn't have the money made, pal. So you're the one that actually needs to do this more than anybody else. But it's once you just take on this way of operating, life gets a lot easier. How much work do you have in the pipeline at the moment?
At the moment, I have about another 3 weeks or something like that. But now, literally before he called me, I was in talking with a friend of mine. He was a painter here around the town, and then he went on in Denmark and opened up a company there, and he looks after all the Facebook and Google headquarters there, like doing fixing up things and painting. And he's a crew, I'd say, of 10 lads or something like that. Like, like
Nice.
he really got in the right spot. And he just literally called me this morning if I come down to him. He wants to have a word with me. So it's this thing. I really fucking forgot the name now. Basically, it's a management company. They're going to work with county council,
Very
uh,
good.
but they need the crew in to go on the field and fix up things in different houses. And you'll get all this list with the problems and
Now, this is in
things that
Ireland, is
have to
it?
be fixed up. Yeah, it's a new program. Jez, I'll send you on a text in WhatsApp because I'll go back with him
But did you not
after we
say that
finish
he
the
set
call.
up a company overseas?
Yeah, but no, he knows some lads and he wants me to give me the opportunity to get in with them.
Very good.
You get me?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll send you on the text of that. It's called the new home or not, something like that, something with home. It's a new
Yeah.
thing. There'll be like a projection from 10 years from now on. Like, it's a big thing, like, anyway. Because
Brilliant.
I was only in the door like 20 minutes like before I was on the phone with you, so I was still kind of they tried to explain me everything. But basically it'll be loads of work, like, and it's like kind of guaranteed for the next at least 10 years, like.
Okay, so
So
let's have a look at that.
that's
So go off and get the details, right? And before you
yeah,
commit to it, give me a shout. We'll look at it. It's great to get 10 years worth of work, but the problem is we don't want you to get 10 years worth of work from one particular source, and as a result of that then you stop promoting your business elsewhere. We
Oh yeah,
want you to
no, I know.
continue the
I'm fully
promotion.
agree with that.
It's a
Yeah. But what kind of details, Joe, do you want me to send around here?
Just let me know, like, what, how many men do they want, what type of work it is, how long is the work for, what type, and most importantly, how much are you likely to be able to make from this work, Just, check out as much as you can there. And when you go to speak to these guys, and this is what I always say, like, if there's somebody that's going to a meeting about a contract or whatever else, when you go in there and you speak to the guy, you set out from the very start, I can't give you a decision on this today, I have to speak to someone else. And he'll think it's someone else in the business or whatever. But I'm your somebody else. And then I can give you some information to go back to him with then. Because this is going to
Yeah,
be a
that.
full-time contract for you, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's basically the management company. Well, county council send it on with most of properties owned by county council are going to have something to do with this management company. So they will send on the list. Does the properties and does the problem in every single properties and does their location and all this stuff. So then it's kind of down to me to go down, organize. Well, ring the customers, organize times when I go in. But everything will be a list, like you'll have a light bulb gone, bathroom ceiling needs to be painted. You know, hanging gutter, things like that. You just have to go in and fix it. But you'll have the list sent in, so you'll know what's the what has to be fixed. And then he said, money wise, you'll have to bill them at the end of the month all the time.
Okay, so this
So
sounds promising. And you're well connected with this guy.
yeah, I know him like from a few years ago when I was working down in a pub here. Like I told you, he was a painter. Like so,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
go
don't
for
know
it.
how exactly he ended up in Denmark, but like fair play to him. Like he just changed his life altogether.
Come on.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, look, I always appreciate like someone that does something good for himself. Like
Yeah, for
some
sure, man.
lads say the other way around, like look at that fucker, or like they just you can't do that. Like
Yeah. No, and look, he obviously knows that you're a good guy as well. Like, it's
yeah,
hard to
that's
get
what
good
he said.
men. Like, people struggle to get people that they can, like, what do we want as employers? As an employer, all that we want is somebody who is going to do what they say they're going to do. And the crazy thing is that's that's in the minority nowadays.
Yeah, I know, Joe. It's really sad to be honest, but like most of the young lads, they are in different world altogether. You know, the really bad thing is when they hit the fucking reality, or hit them really hard, like
Yeah, yeah, for
And
sure.
most of them, I just know they'll realize, geez, like why the fuck they left it so long? Why didn't I start something earlier? That kind of way. And there's all this like kind of entourages with like I don't know, drugs, nightclub, whatever, all this stuff, like and you've no future, like.
This is life. What unfortunately, this is life for so many people. But what I'd be saying to the lads is the competition is so poor.
Like just to give an example, my personal kind of life, I did arts for like 8 years, and then I was 18, I was living back home in Romania, and I was down to look, I have to go to the college, and all this kind of standard bullshit, like.
Yes.
Uh, Now I didn't have my mind made up at the time, but my mind was kind of going towards something that you make money, like some business or. But then my mom and dad said, no, that's bullshit. You need to get a job, and so we went and started dental technique for 2 years. But they were really struggling with the money. So when I finished off the second year, I had to do 3 years.
Right.
I just realized this crack is not for me. Now I
Right.
was really good on the art side of creating the actual teeth and all, because even the last year they were like, "Jeez, how the fuck you do this?" I said, look, I did arts in school, like in sculpture and all this stuff. So that's nothing like to create something.
Yes.
But
Very
I
good.
wasn't attracted when I had the thought of I have to go into an office, sit there like 10 hours, 9 hours every day, constantly for the rest of my life. That wasn't my cup of tea. Like I wanted something else. So then I made the decision, look, I'll go over for the summer here in Ireland because I knew some lad in car wash. So I said, look, I'll go over for the summer, make a few bob, and then I'll think about it. And then I just fucking decide, look, forget about that. I just have to start off myself without the help of my parents and all this stuff. And I have to do something for my future, like, you know.
Very good. And
So
they were paying you to go through dental college, yeah?
yeah, it was a private one. I say it was about 8 grand a year. Now that's in Romania, like.
Yeah,
It was
that's a
still
lot
like
of money, isn't it?
mad money, yeah. And then they just didn't want to accept the fact that I won't go back. So my mom actually went there and talked with one of the main lads there and said, look, give him a year. Can he come back like after just taking like a year break and then come back? So she organized something that I could go back. But I told her, forget about it altogether. They could pay me to be in there and I still won't go there. I need to do something for myself. And I told her, I feel I can do something in this fucking life, you know, by myself, just starting off somewhere. So then I went from there to the car wash. I went different car wash. Then I went fixing up pallets. Then I went work for a painter. Then I went to work for a gardener. Then I went back to the car wash. Then I ended up in a pub for 3 years, doing the cellar work. Then I did maintenance for them as well on top of that. And then they were sending me to the bank to do like money lodgements. Like you're talking about, even sometimes they could give me after a really busy weekend, they could hand me in 50 grand to go into the bank and lodge it.
They obviously
You know, so
trusted you a lot.
that's how much they trust me, like, you know.
Yeah.
Now sometimes, to be honest, I said to them, that's a lot of money. Like I don't really like, you know, just going into the bank.
Yeah.
But just tell you a funny story, like they had about 30 bags of coins, right?
Right.
I if I'm not wrong, I think it was about 14 grand or 11 grand, something like that. And they said, we need to go to the bank and lodge this. And they called me, Vlad is the man to go. So I was like, how the fuck am I going to go to the bank with all these bags? Like,
Yeah.
and I wasn't driving at the time. So what I did, I got a brown bin, like, you know, the food waste bin. I cleaned it up, bang on, like on the outside and the inside. Put the fucking coins in. And look me, going through fucking Kildare town with the bin. And the lads would be like, what the fuck is going on with this lad? And then I went in the fucking Bank of Ireland. You all at the door was like, where you going? Like, I said, I have to lodge some money. I said, are you serious? Like, I said, yeah, look inside. I couldn't fucking believe it. I said, look, it's for the crowd here that I'm working for, Silk and Thomas. Like, I said, Jesus, never seen something like that before.
And come here, how did they manage to get so many coins?
Look, they had like at the time. Now whatever was going to happen now because they did some changing to their business. But before they had two different pubs, a restaurant, and
This was all the takings in just over whatever amount of time.
Yeah, and the nightclub as well. Plus they had the B&B, so it was all like a big business, like, you know, but they have different stuff.
Yeah.
But like all the money were going into one place and one office. And they were just always sending me like to the bank, like, you know.
A really been a change, what?
Jeez, I tell you, there are some stories there. But anyway, bottom line is, after a while, I was on the minimum wage, and I asked him, look, can you go at least on 11 euro, like, which is like still not a lot, like, but
Yeah.
I was just wanted a little bit extra because I was doing so many things for them. But like they couldn't offer me that. They said, we can give a few more hours. I said, look, you go down the road to doing more hours. My money is just going to go to the tax man, and I'm still going to be on the same money. I'll do more work for you, but like money wise for me will be the same shit. So I said, look, I just have to do a change. So I kind of gave them the notice, and they kind of didn't believe that I'll actually go and leave, but I just had to. I just
And
couldn't
when
make
did you
the ends
leave?
meet. About a year and a half ago.
Right. And what did you go to when you left there?
I was kind of doing this property maintenance thing while I was working for them as well, and then I kind of went on like nearly fully every single day for the whole year, and then I
Tell me
said,
that
look,
again. You done what every single day?
I did the property maintenance, like, you know, I was doing it now. Now I was not doing it, like, you know,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
way.
You were just tipping away. You
Uh,
were just finding your feet, yeah?
So then I said, look, I was getting all these calls and look, want this and want that, and some lads wanted like receipts, and then I just thought to myself, look, this crack has to end.
Yeah.
And another problem that I was facing is when I was driving in with the van somewhere, I had no markings on. Some people wouldn't answer the door, and then I'll just text them, look, I'm outside. Will you let me in? Like it's Vlad and all this. Oh yeah, sorry. When you pull
Yeah,
in with the
yeah.
big white van somewhere. So then I just take the decision. I said, look, this has to be done right. and need to have like all these insurances and everything that has to be done right. I have to do right. So then that's how I decided just to start fresh. Now, to be honest, like you probably imagine as well, 80% of all them old customers are gone because they
Yes.
wouldn't pay the new rates. But
Yeah.
I don't give two fucks about that. Like, I just need to target myself somewhere else,
You
like,
need to
not
get new
the way I used
clients
to
that's
do it.
going to see you as you are now.
Yeah.
The problem is these clients see you as you were when you were just an amateur guy starting off, And this is part of the comes with the territory that you end up dealing with people that you like that just aren't going to stand the test of time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You end up dealing with clients. And look, it happens everywhere. It happens like as an employer and everything else. As you grow, some people will grow with you, and some people will resist the growth, and you just need to cut them loose,
Yeah. Look, it's having you on board, Joe. I'm going to get in the right place where I have to be.
Yeah,
That's one thing I
100%.
know 100%, like,
Yeah. What I think you
Um,
should do is you should go down and get to the bottom of this potential contract ASAP. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just going to go back with him now after we finish the call, and I'll send you on a few details, like, through the text.
Let me know. Yeah.
And
Exactly. Exactly.
then
Actually,
you
you know what
let
to
me
do.
know what
Even
you think
send it
as well.
on to me.
Yeah?
Send it on to me for Thursday's email session. Yeah. And what I can do is I can just chat it over on the email session with the lads, because maybe other people there will know a little bit about these guys and they can give us a bit of input then as well.
Yeah, that's grand.
Yeah, no, that's what we do. But listen, my friend, it's look, I now that you have to tell me, I didn't know you had all these different jobs and all this sort of stuff, and I can see.
I need to make it happen, Joe.
Yeah, well,
I can
see why you're approaching this in a very professional manner from the outset, because you've got all the experience of those previous jobs and previous roles that you're in. There's a lot of people there that wouldn't do what you're doing. As I said, you wouldn't even put yourself in a position where put themselves in a position where they can learn and they can grow and they can improve. So it's impressive, And to be honest, it's only the start,
Yeah, no, I know. That's the beauty of it, I'd say.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Yeah, well, listen.
And I don't mind challenges, like they could be on every single day. I wouldn't mind them.
Yes, that's what it's all about, man. Because we
just
grow
has to be
into them,
done,
but
has to make it happen.
don't mind all these other people that aren't doing things correctly. Because what I say is, the competition is so bad. That's the way to
Yeah,
describe it. The competition
to be
is
honest,
so bad.
I've heard loads of cases, lads getting crazy money and doing such shit fucking job, but just because they kind of have a name out there, a lot of people are just getting them.
Yeah,
But they're
but
like
it doesn't
fucking
last forever with
blindfolded, like
those guys.
Yeah, I know that's true as well.
Yeah, for sure.
That doesn't last forever.
No, my man, listen, it's been a pleasure to catch up today. Is there anything else you want to ask me before we let you go?
No, Joe. Look, I'll send you on the details for the email session on Thursday.
Yeah, and we'll go from there. And the wife is in good health now, yeah?
Yeah, no, she's grand now. She's flying.
Brilliant. Delighted to hear that, man. Okay, my man, well, listen, book in for another call and we'll chat in a couple of weeks, yeah?
No bothers. That's grand, Joe. Thanks a lot.
See you at the top, my friend. Have a great day.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye. Bye.
So, guys, that was a conversation between myself and the man himself, Vlad Rotariu from VR Property Maintenance down there in Kildare. I got to know Vlad a little while ago, and his business is pretty much in its infancy now. But he's a good guy, and he stuck out to me as a good guy from the very, very start. And as you can hear him there, he knows what he can do now, and it's great to hear that he's making more money since he started with ourselves on our 52 Steps program. But look, so many people out there just think that, I can only get X amount a day and I can only charge this amount for a job, which is true to a certain degree, because you can't charge people more than what the fair price is. But in most instances, people are actually pricing jobs unfairly, and I think they're pricing them unfairly towards themselves as opposed to pricing them unfairly towards their client. And the best way you can serve a client, as far as I'm concerned, is to charge them well, so that if there's a problem with the job, you can go back to them and fix the job, whatever the issue is, no questions asked, and you're not concerned about it. So hopefully you enjoyed today's episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you at the top. So, folks, that concludes another episode of the Tradesman Survival Guide podcast. Don't forget that all of the tactics and strategies discussed in today's podcast are from my book, The Tradesman Survival Guide, which is available to buy online at www.joedoyle.ie/TSG. TSG being, of course, short for The Tradesman Survival Guide.